Cookie Clicker. Its gameplay was simple. You click a cookie, and its motivation is simple. Cookies are yummy, why don't you want a cookie? At first, you click on a cookie, earning 1 cookie per click. With these cookies, you buy new cookie production methods such as curses, grandma's farms, mines, factories, banks, temples, and several more that automatically generate cookies. The price increases exponentially, with each asset costing more than the last. You can also purchase upgrades to increase cookie production for these buildings. If you're lucky, golden cookies will appear periodically and grant bonus effects. It's a very simple concept anybody can understand. But at some point, this game transformed from an addictive idle game that makes you simply press a cookie into a dark comedy and ironic parody of capitalism if dragons, gods, magic, demon grandmas, alternate realities, and time travel was involved. This is Cookie Clicker. August 8th, 2013. French 24-year-old Julien Firaud posted onto 4chan a link of a game he developed and coded in merely a single night. Before the next morning, within hours, he garnered a total of 50,000 players to play his game. Only 1 month later, it had over 200,000 players per day and one time reached a peak of 1.5 million players in a single day. By the time January 2014 came around, its average player base was at a steady 250,000 players per day. Julien decided to undergo a complete redesign of Cookie Clicker and introduced it to its 1.0 series of updates. It gave Cookie Clicker a deeper meaning with its updated graphics and user interface, but more notably, it's added more buildings and upgrades and new gimmicks. This version was intentionally separated from the original Cookie Clicker website and is treated similarly to how a sequel would be treated, leaving the original game behind. This had a wide series of updates between August 2013 and to current day. Across this time, the game had several bug fixes and tweaks, but more notably, overhauled the user face, added new buildings and upgrades, golden cookie with many patch updates which grant you various luck-based bonuses, quality of life updates, an offline version and achievement system that features over 639 achievements. Milk, and the largest feature yet being the heavenly chips, which are an ascension prestige mechanic that relies on you forfeiting your entire progress to ascend to a new level of cookie. At this level, you have a wider range of heavenly upgrades, achievements, random drop chances, and boosts to all upgrades. Your heavenly chips increase every time you ascend, and right now, the highest amount of heavenly chips is 364.38 trillion, which is impossible to obtain without cheating. And now, the game's music is composed by C418, notably known for her work in Minecraft. I'm not going to talk about every single update in this 12-year-old game, but the evolution caused by 2 major updates within the game that changed the scope of Cookie Clicker and opened the path for its whole future. Each patch update of the game was derived from the themes and mechanics born from the updates Legacy and Spiritual. Cookie Clicker has had a run of great updates since its unconventional birth. As it turns 1 year old in August 2014, it enters Cookie Clicker with a new Legacy update. Legacy was the future of Cookie Clicker and received 3 distinct Legacy updates between August 2014 and February 2016. Legacy Beta Part 1 set out to change the prestige system from scratch with a whole new upgrade tree. It polishes the game's look and refined its bugs, revamping its upgrade stacking system and adding new buildings. Legacy Beta Part 2 added heaps of new upgrades and achievements, rebalanced a lot of statistics, reworked the heavenly chip system, a seasonal store update, testing betas of sound effects, and most importantly, a cute dragon friend. And finally, we have the full release of the Legacy update, another entirely new revamped version of the Ascension system with a new heavenly upgrade tree, new buildings and mysterious updates with an angel-powered offline progression system, challenge runs and a cookie dragon. Some extra achievements and upgrades are added, along with some sound effects, new customization, quality of life and general polish. Since the Legacy update released, the game was given a few more updates that added upon the Legacy's changes between February 2014 and July 2016, featuring many revamped mechanics, new particle effects, and flavoured cookie upgrades, new heavenly upgrades, and a tweaked golden cookie system to make it more fun. And finally, due to EU legislation at the time, the game was forced to include a warning message regarding browser cookies. Cookie Clicker stayed this way for nearly an entire year with zero changes. It was its longest update yet. And then 12 months later, Cookie Clicker had its next change, beginning the spiritual updates. The spiritual update received 3 patches within just 8 days in July 2017. Its first patch added sugar lumps, which started coalescing once ascended and can be used as a special currency. Buildings bought by sugar lumps stay permanently boosted. It added 2 minigames relating to the temples and wizard tower buildings. 7 days later, it released a full beta patch update tweaking a lot of bugs within the new features and tweaks to many statistics. And then 1 day later, it received its final update and led Cookie Clicker into the official release of the spiritual update. Across this era, many updates were released expanding the game exponentially and integrated into a mobile app. A release on Steam, and now from May 22nd, 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and soon to be Switch 2. The world building and story of Cookie Clicker is revealed through its news features that frequently changes as you accumulate more and more cookies. The world around you changes to even a molecular level. Cults are formed for the baker in the sky, and physics themselves revolve around cookie dough particles. It's such a grand day to begin a new business. Clicking the cookie gives you a cookie. Do this a few times to buy a cursor. 10 cursors automatically make 1 cookie per second. Click cookies to buy upgrades to get more cookies to buy upgrades that give you cookies. Capitalism at its finest. After 100 cookies, we buy our first grandma. Sweet grandma undergoes forced unpaid labour to grow our cookie business, but she doesn't mind, she loves baking cookies. Until eventually your cookies become renowned all over town and gains exponential rapid growth until we purchase a cookie farm to grow cookies and making sales left and right. We buy mines to find cookies underground, and now everybody wants to buy our cookies, and finally factories to manufacture cookies and become elected for Business Tycoon of the Year. Your brand has made its way into popular culture. Children recite your cookie slogans and you feel glad to be at the top. You begin to open banks with your cookie currency. Temples are made for thousands to pray to the baker in the sky. Kings and queens across the globe enjoy your cookies, and museums are made dedicated to your cookies. The world cannot function without cookies. It's become cookie crazed and was onto a path of destruction. Much like the real world, a business cannot grow to such extent without detrimental effects to the globe. It all started with unpaid elderly labour from the grandmas. The cookie farms were quickly linked to global warming effects, releasing harmful chocolate into rivers. Specialists claimed free-range farm cookies are popular with the hip youth, but expert nutritionists deemed them unfit for vegans. In the chocolate mines, many souls are trapped or dead. They've caused sinkholes and earthquakes across the globe as the earth itself has become lighter. The chocolate factories cause severe pollution, and as the workers rebelled and striked for wages paid in real currency and not cookies, they were ultimately replaced by robotic workers. And these newer robot-made cookies were directly linked to obesity. Banks started allowing loans in cookies and built ATMs to allow for easy cookie withdrawals. As your dirty business exceeds hundreds of thousands of cookies per second, you start altering the fabric of reality itself, using wizard towers to summon cookies. Wizards deny any involvement regarding human evolution degrading as newborns are born shockingly ugly, but corrupted doctors say it's natural. All that's capable within this world is reaching its limits. Scientists discover new chocolate-based planets with 99.8 gentrified pure dark chocolate core, and cookie companies make haste with cookie trading spaceships. However, experts find ancient baking artifacts hidden deep within the planet and have terrifying implications. This gets ignored, and alchemy labs are built in order to transform gold-based minerals into chocolate. Chocolate jewellery is found fashionable. There was one single defective alchemy lab who set out to transform cookies into gold. It was shut down. Sorcery powers grew larger and larger until scientists discovered a way to make portals into the cookieverse. Creatures begin emerging from these portals, with entire cities being engulfed and a casualty rate of 78%. Portals are linked with fast aging and an obsession with baking, and has led to kids becoming corrupted. Spells are used to grant magical bonuses to increase cookie production. The world is becoming nothing but cookie. The only way out is the past. Time machines are invented and are involved in history rewriting scandal. Or are they? Time machines are being used unlawfully in time tourism. Various historical figures are being replaced with talking lumps of cookie dough. A time machine operator reveals he has seen the future, and he does not wish to go there again. The only way out of this cookie cutter world is death. But even that isn't enough. You now ascend into a new dimension, but this isn't a mortal realm. You have ascended beyond the mortal realm into a heavenly existence where you can use heavenly chips for new upgrades to increase the scope of your cookie production. Then you are reborn into a new game, losing all of your progress and beginning again at 0 cookies. Only this time, you keep upgrades from your past life and use them to increase the speed of the cookie production. And we also now have sugar lumps as a newer currency within this realm. Every time you die, you increase your amount of heavenly chip, and therefore can be spent on more heavenly upgrades. The cookie cycle cannot be escaped. Every time you die, you succumb to a new existence of cookie. After repeating the cycle, eventually some new powers appear. There are over 600 upgrades across each building, which now includes special tiers and synergy upgrades and fortune upgrades. The descriptions of each building upgrade involve a small text expanding the world building like good old child labour. At a certain point, you can buy the heavenly chip upgrade How to Bake Your Dragon, and receive Crumbler the Cookie Dragon, which has random drops from petting him. The heavenly chip system opens up a huge range of upgrades within this new plane of existence to certain buildings. Even more upgrade trees become available. Minigames that grant spells, a garden patch upgraded from your farms to grow seeds and cookie plants. A stock market minigame upgraded from your banks, where every aspect of the minigame is associated with a building. Pantheon upgrade from your temples, where you can slot spirits and gods and use their bonuses in a late game. A grimoire born from your wizard towers that uses pools of magic to summon spells and bonuses. Seasons have different cookie bonuses that amplify production and can be upgraded by sacrificing cookies. The most effective is during Christmas time. Christmas cookies can be upgraded into final clauses, trading them for upgrades that again increase cookie growth. The only goal in our mind is finding out what those final upgrades are. What could be beyond what we've already achieved in a past life. We have derived into a being that solely cares on that final upgrade. Breaking news as the world's first antimatter condenser successfully turns on and doesn't rip apart reality. A misguided woman questions why we even need a particle accelerator to make cookies. Scientists claimed that unraveling the fabric of reality just makes these cookies tastier. Entire towns are being engulfed in antimatter-induced black holes, but more reliable sources say the town never existed in the first place. Rainbow-related viral videos reveal a link to newly found cookie-producing prisms. Cookies are now being produced at the speed of light. An insane local man rambles that the prisons are watching them, as cookie government officials deny any knowledge about it and advises the public not to worry about any frequent atmospheric flashes. Everything is transformed into cookies, or into the means to create cookies, There is only cookie. The universe becomes cookie dough down to the molecular level. The world's luck balance begins to shift by chance makers to summon cookies at pure random chance. With a fractal engine, the world begins to make cookies from other cookies, but it's okay, because now we know what's in them. And now, we can even create cookies from beyond the fourth wall using a JavaScript console. But this isn't enough. We enter the Idolverse. Cookie Clicker is a game intended to play without actually playing. To be idle, what if we enter a dimension where everything is idle? Is there another you in an alternate universe living out their dreams? The public is distraught regarding idle games, saying, "I kinda hoped there was more to it," and people turn to alternate, more reassuring dimensions where the number was only in the high 50s. Soon, we advance the industry into Cortex bakers and eventually into the ultimate cookie production machine. You alone are the reason behind all these cookies. You'd figure if there were more of you, maybe you could make even more. Eventually, it's time to stop. The game warns you to stop playing, but no matter what, the call of cookies reels you back, and even beyond the scope of death, you cannot escape this infatuation with cookies. All that's left is to ascend and repeat the cycle. All throughout the game, the grandmas grow disappointed and disgusted. They begin saying they're nice grandmas whose only concern in the world is why you don't visit. But they grow increasingly disgusted and says it will all be over soon and you could have stopped this. After the bingo center upgrade and the one mind tech tree, the Grandmapocalypse begins. A hive of mutant grandmas rise and rebel against you. Old ladies are reported missing. Doctors are swarmed as old women grow glassy eyes, foamy mouths, and have a distinct cookie smell. Families begin reporting their grandmothers have become agitated and transfixed as they gather in groups around cookie factories. They have become awoken. The world is affected by old ladies with glowing eyes, breaking into homes to steal infants and baking utensils. Those in retirement homes are reported to be slowly congealing in their seats. As the grandmas become displeased, they freeze in the streets and ooze a warm sugary syrup. The grandmas become angered and wrinkled flesh tendrils become visible from even space. Large flesh highways stretch between cookie facilities. Nightmare continues as wrinkled acres of flesh expand at alarming speeds and has engulfed entire cities. A hive mind of mutant grandmas turned the world into an eldritch-based horoscope of cookie-based monstrosities. The only way to stop the Grandmapocalypse and appease the old ladies is by purchasing an elder pledge or covenant. They begin to make mysterious threats of rising again and state, "We are not satiated." But wait. Within this global disaster, an opportunity arises. Cookie Clicker is, after all, a game where its sole purpose is to increase your accumulation of cookies as much as possible. We must get the number as high as possible, so what if we allow this Grandmapocalypse to continue? Sure, the world is suffering and people are dying to cookie dough beasts, but what if we exploit these old granny monsters for our own economic growth and ultimately become wealthier? During the Grandmapocalypse, wrinklers are spawned and are so large they can be seen from space. Each wrinkler leeches 5% of your total CPS. The grandmas want to eat away at our profits, but little do they know, if we allow these wrinklers to absorb our CPS, we can later pop them and they explode, leaving even more cookies behind than what they stole. Then all parts of life, history, and reality itself will become infatuated with the pure intention to increase the ever-going economic growth of cookies. All will be cookie. Ultimately, Cookie Clicker has no real end. it repeats the disastrous cycle of cookie history set from your past lives. Some consider the end of Cookie Clicker to be obtaining all the achievements, but the game still continues beyond that already insanely large scope. The PS5 version grants a Platinum trophy only partly through the game's in-game achievement system, because nobody is going to idly leave Cookie Clicker active on console for months. Only we can put an end to this cookie-crazed world. Even on mobile or Steam, you can't stop playing because it still acts idly and the cookie production will never stop. The only solution is to simply uninstall and delete all cookies.